my philosophy toward the marketing side of things, which we just didn't really have in place before, is that everyone has their job, right? Sales' job is really to get the beer on the shelf. They're trying to get as many placements as they can. My job, I see, is to get people to try it for the first time. Me and Colin, our artist, who you're talking about doing the can art. It's kind of our job to get people to try it for the first time, and then it's the brewers and the production team's job to get them to buy it another time.
And you just heard our good friend Wade from Prairie Artisan Ales out in Oklahoma on this week's episode of Brew Roots. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Brew Roots, where we tell the stories behind your favorite beer. This is Sound Guy Ryan, and joining me, as always, is Erica and Matt. And today we got a special guest, Rob from Asper Bros and eco-friendly beer drinker. Wow, Ryan, you are like...
He's so good.
You're like the intro from Johnny Carson. That's amazing. You know,
I
was thinking of like, you know, the Steve Harvey show.
Ooh,
but
yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Wow. Same difference. Yeah, I loved
same
it.
thing. Yeah.
I loved it. Yeah, we just actually recorded an episode with Rob.
And we thought, why not just stick around?
Yeah. What did we talk about in that episode, though? Because we want to hype it up. I mean, it's coming up in a couple of weeks, so why not?
Yeah, so we're going to talk about some cool sustainability stuff, especially with Earth Day coming up. So
April 22nd, right?
April 22nd. See what some of the breweries are doing around that, and see what breweries and consumers can do in general.
Yeah.
We talked about Earth Day, but like we really want to try to practice Earth Year.
Yeah, Earth Year. I love it.
Earth Day every day.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I'm drinking a beer out of a hard seltzer.
Not even
out of
a beer.
Can. I'm an asshole.
Well, you know,
so sorry.
next time you want Earth Year to be a thing, make sure you label the note in the email Earth Year instead of Earth Day, because I thought it was just a day.
Yeah.
So
well, now
Surprise.
you know. Now you know.
Now it's a year.
So I've drank a ton of mass beer this week. It's been
Have you?
Yeah, it's been really. I went to Channel Marker on Friday to get the release from
Yeah.
our friend Neil, Gilded Skull.
Yeah.
And they did a little collaboration. Cool little beer.
Cool little beer.
I'd suggest, go out there, try it, see what you think. I also grabbed some stuff over at Old Planters. And I love their space over at Old Planters. I like what they're doing.
They just upgraded it. They did like a little mural.
Yes, the
stuff.
mural.
Yeah.
So, sometimes when you're in the inn, you get to see things a little bit before the public. Yeah, I know, it's part of the job. I'm sorry. I know. I sound like an
Perks,
asshole,
I
but
guess.
like he was like, I can't wait to show you. I didn't ask. It happens. It was awesome. And the mural looks beautiful. I'm very excited for tap rooms to open across Massachusetts.
Yeah.
We
It's
hear
happening. It's happening.
so many things. Notch, they're going to be serving beer in glass. The draft lines are open. I saw Brienne cleaning draft lines. I'm super pumped about that. Gentili's opening this week, so a bunch of great breweries are opening their draft lines. So you can practice, sustainability by drinking out of a glass cup finally.
Yeah, that'll be nice to be able to get back into the actual tap rooms and
Yeah.
drink on premises. Be really cool.
Definitely. Definitely.
I was fortunate enough. I'm drinking a lot of Old Planters right now. I just drank their, it's a shanty, but it's a stout shanty, which I have to ask more questions.
But not a shandy, right? A shanty is like a cabin, right? Like a right? See, Rob knows what
Yeah,
I'm talking about.
shanty, I think different
Yeah.
than shandy. Yeah.
Yeah, shanty. Coconut
Shandy.
almond shanty stout.
Interesting. Okay.
I just don't know how to read.
Maybe they're just trying
Yeah,
to make
shandy
like
is actually an
Right.
actual beer
Beer
style.
style.
I believe it's
Right.
a mix
Shanty
of
is like the
beer
cabin house in the
and,
picture.
Lemonade.
Lemonade, yeah.
Yeah.
What is shanty stout? I never heard that.
I think
Interesting.
they're just making like
I
there's
think
a
they're just being
cabin
pithy.
on the
Yeah.
Ah, cool, yeah.
I think they're just trying to be
I do dig
Cool.
their little logo with like
I
the
love their
farmer
logo.
dude.
Minimalist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Really, yeah, but it's really cool and
Yeah.
totally goes with their like branding.
Yeah.
definitely
Absolutely.
Definitely. I agree.
And then on top of that, I went over to Sylvaticus and I got their smoked Rausch beer, which
Is that how you say that?
I don't know, but I'm obsessed. I am obsessed with smoked beers. The Smoking Daggers. Anytime Notch does one, or
I completely agree. I
Mhm.
cannot
You know what? That's
get
good.
enough of good smoked beers.
Smoked
Rauch
beers are
beers. Oh
really
my
good
God,
when done right.
So good.
Yeah.
anytime I
Yeah.
Hard to do. Not many people do them.
No,
really.
and they're not very common. Yeah. for
anytime I say that to someone, they're like, "No, I don't like smoked beers." Ryan, do you like smoked beers?
see, I do, but it's like
Sure. This is like a recent thing though for Ryan.
Not really. I mean, because like when I was living in Salem, I always loved going to Notch and getting a single pint or a half liter of the Rausch beer. But again, it's like I'll have one and I'm good. I'm set for a while. I can't drink, pint after pint of it.
Yeah, I guess that's not sessionable per se.
Yeah, it just like that smoked flavor. It's
I do really love though when they I don't know they did it this year, but in the years past they have their event and they like put the whole hot skewer in it.
Well, that's a little bit
that's
different.
it's a little
That's
different.
lot
I know,
different.
I
That's
know.
their lager
But that's
head.
what I'm
That's-
thinking
yeah,
about
I
right
know.
now, and it's exciting.
It is exciting.
Okay,
You can do it too. You know what? We can get that. That beer is going to be
We should.
actually released soon.
it's coming soon, right?
I have a hot poker.
That's why I'm excited.
We're
going
to throw it in the fire
You
pit.
have
We're
a
going to
hot
just do the
poker?
same thing.
Okay, we're gonna do it.
Rob, you're
Can't
invited.
wait.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Ryan, you are not invited.
I'm all right with that. So, Erica, what have you been drinking?
Me, just a whole variety of things. Recently, I went down and hiked Blue Hills, one of my favorite hikes to do.
Yeah.
And it's great because one of the trailheads is right by Widowmaker. So I started there, did a nice big long loop with my puppers, and then got some Widowmaker Pilsner after.
Great beer.
Yes, solid. And some nachos, because that's what they had for the food truck, and it was amazing.
Oh, there's a food truck based upon nachos?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to talk about that after this episode.
the-
we're going to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Widowmaker's lager, they call it the Widow Lager. It's absolutely phenomenal.
Would you say it slaps, Ryan?
It does slap.
Rob, I'm curious. What have you been drinking? Because you talk about your initiative, right? You are not drinking beer.
Yeah, so a while ago,
No, he's drinking
He's drinking beer, but you're not drinking beer out of. Yeah.
almost a year ago, I decided to give up beer that was in single-use containers, so
Yes.
or single-use plastic, like cups or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm only drinking stuff from growlers or on premises in
And glassware.
reusable glassware.
Yeah.
So it does limit my ability to have as much as I'd like to, but I'm very fortunate. I live in Cambridge, so Cambridge Brewing Company, which is awesome. They've been using glassware all the way through.
Yeah.
And they have growlers, which is awesome. I also get over to Somerville to Remnant Brewing, which has
love
really
them.
cool beers
Yeah.
on tap in glassware, which
Yep.
is great. And they've got the outdoor patio as well, which is cool. And I'm fortunate enough to be within biking distance of Brato BK
Yeah.
in Brighton, which
Love
I totally
Brato.
dig. And they have, again, they use proper glassware and they are doing growlers as well. So I've been drinking a lot of beer from those three
Nice.
places in particular.
Not to mention the food.
Okay, the food from
Yes. It's-
two of the places.
Yeah.
Food from both CBC and Brato is
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
will say, though, also, there's awesome food options if you go to Remnant.
In
Oh, yeah.
It's
The
true.
Finley Market. No, yeah.
No.
Really good, yeah.
Not Finley.
Bow Square. Bow Square.
Bow Square.
Square.
Yeah,
Square
yeah,
Market.
Yeah. Bow Market. Yeah.
Yeah.
Finley Market's in Cincinnati.
Good
I'm
try.
so silly.
So close.
I'm thinking
You were
about
almost
Cincinnati, I
there.
guess. Yeah.
You were so close.
Awesome
I know.
pizza place in there.
Yeah.
Great.
Yep.
Really good
Daju pierogies,
vegan,
yeah.
vegetarian type place there as
Yep.
well called Souse.
Dumplings.
And dumplings, and they have killer dessert stuff
Yeah.
there. Like
They do that. I
It's
know
a really
it's
neat
the ice
place.
cream
It is.
thing.
yeah, if you haven't been to Bow Square, check it out. And they can
Yeah.
do reservations. They have this middle.
Yeah.
It's a cool
It's cool.
scene.
It's really
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Cool for you doing that initiative. And rumor has it you have a challenge for the Brewers crew for Earth Week.
That's right. I had almost.
I don't know if we
forgotten.
discussed
Oh,
that. Good
boy.
call.
You know what?
Good call.
You know what?
Thank you for reminding
That's
me.
why I invited Rob to do.
I'm gonna leave
intro.
right now.
That's why we kept him around.
That's why we kept him around.
So
We just want our listeners to keep us honest.
I am challenging listeners too.
Ooh. all right.
But especially the Brew Roots crew from so Earth Week, not just Earth Day. That's a little too easy.
It's a
Earth
week. Can do it.
like the 19th to the 25th, a Monday to a Sunday.
That's fair enough.
I'm challenging you also to drink only beer that's either on draft in reusable glassware, so you can go to any of the
Oh,
breweries
boy.
that you're nearby,
Okay.
or to, if you really need to take beer home, to get it from a reusable growler.
See, Ryan, it's not that hard. You love going to
Not
breweries.
You go to brewers all
not
the
impossible.
time, Ryan.
We can do it, Ryan.
Let's quick discuss what's around here for growler offers. Who?
Well, that's the thing.
True North.
Probably
True,
all of them would do
True
it.
North has it. Maybe Riverwalk still has it.
Riverwalk still has it.
Ipswich will do it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you
Maybe
got some options.
Sylvaticus.
You got
I have
some
some
options, and you might have to
options.
get out on the road a little bit. And
We have to ask.
My car gets maybe 14 miles to the gallon.
So, Ryan,
So maybe I shouldn't just
Yeah.
drive my car. By the sounds of
Maybe
it.
we should get a bike.
but also there at Seventh Wave, rumor has it that we're trying to get Beer Bro Bob to do yoga.
Yes.
We're trying to get Matt Bro, Beer Bro
What?
Matt, to do beer yoga.
Yep.
Erica, you going to do beer yoga?
Why not? Ryan.
So we need the
You
petition.
already know the answer
We
to
need-
me.
He's gonna go.
So we are starting the
Got it.
hashtag Rob and Ryan.
Bob and Ryan.
Hashtag Bob and Ryan do yoga.
Yes.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
so Seventh Wave doing a special yoga on the lawn on the weekend of Earth weekend, so the 24th, Saturday the 24th. So
Sorry,
But
I'm
they'll
going to be
have really-
preoccupied with my thesis.
they're gonna have so much cool stuff there, though.
They
Besides
have a pizza
just the
truck,
yoga.
Ryan.
You suck it up through the
Right.
yoga. I'll buy your beers for you for the day.
What?
And they
deal?
have a killer, right? They have killer like pizza on site, brewed in this killer brick oven in this old Airstream trailer.
It's
I'll buy
awesome.
your pizza too.
That's a
Beer
deal,
and-
Ryan. And I'll
Ryan,
drive
come
you
on.
out there.
For you and
Boom.
for Bob.
I will drive you out there, Ryan.
Sweeten the pot. I'm gonna sweeten the pot. I will buy the whole Brew Roots crew drinks and eats for free that day.
What?
If Ryan does the yoga with us.
So you heard it here, Brewers listeners. We have to use the hashtag. Ryan, you can't say no to this.
Come on.
Email your
don't know.
professor. Email your professor right now. Say, "Dear Prof, what up?" You have to say that because, like, what
I'm
up?
doing yoga.
Doing yoga. Send pics you'll love. Sincerely. No, scratch sincerely. Regards. Very professional.
Yes.
Sound guy Ryan. What do you think? Can we get a commitment? Can I get an amen?
Get him, amen.
Yeah, we got Ryan. Now we have to work on Bob. So
All right, we'll work on that.
everyone go to the Mass Brew Bros page and spam their page and just say, Bob do yoga. Bob do yoga.
Yes.
Every comment
get
I
the
see,
message.
I'm going to literally comment on
I think
everything
I will
you say.
too, actually. Why not?
Can Bob do yoga?
Can Bob do
Bob, you
yoga?
cannot.
I certainly
I like it.
cannot do yoga.
Me
So here's
neither.
the thing. It's an all
All-inclusive?
levels
You know?
yoga
Yeah.
class. So literally, if you can just sit there
If you can tie your shoes, you
and
can
like
do it.
maybe just
So
you know,
so that's assuming that I can just sit there.
Yeah, Ryan.
Yeah.
You can
Um,
do it, Ryan.
you'll be good. There's the you don't have to be doing crazy stuff where you're like bending over half backwards like some.
Well, no. See, if I try to do that, I'd probably
I'm with
die.
you. Yeah, so whatever. You just there's always any simple little easy thing. You can literally lie in on your back and just like
I call that the dead fish.
and chill out.
Ryan.
Yes.
Ryan, Sting does yoga for 8 hours a day and then has sex for 6 of them. So
Well,
there you go.
So there you go, Ryan.
Now I know.
That's a
There is literally a pose called corpse pose.
Yeah.
In yoga. So there you go.
And we
Perfect
can,
for
go.
you. It's
we can
perfect.
rename corpse pose to
Ryan.
passed out Ryan pose, to bear induced
I mean,
coma pose.
I really enjoyed the dead fish, but yeah, sure. Dead get sound guy Ryan. We can do that.
Corpse Ryan.
So Ryan, did we go over what you've been drinking?
I mean, no. I've been drinking pretty much the huge, the
huge.
Sylvaticus, the True North, the
See, you're staying local.
Wormtown. I'm staying local. What else? Oh, well, I traveled to Widowmakers
You did.
in Medusa back,
Yep.
a couple weeks ago. So I've been going through what I have purchased from them. And, everyone is doing a great job. I can't wait. There's a few new beer releases that have been coming out this week that I
especially
can't
some
wait to
Pink
try.
Boots ones, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lots of Pink Boots releases.
So, yeah, I mean, that's basically what I've been doing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, during this episode, I am not drinking a mass beer or a beer at all. And this is a beer, and I'm so excited.
You were super excited to get this. We got this delivered to us.
Yeah, I hate to even admit this with Rob present.
I
He's
was
like,
gonna
he's
say,
looking at me like
He's cringing.
So, if people follow me on my personal Facebook, which I hope nobody does because I like to keep my life personal and not in the open, but I love Topo Chico seltzer, and you can
He
only
does.
get Topo Chico seltzer at your Whole Foods or
Total Wine.
no,
No,
Ryan. You can
just
only
the
get the
seltzer.
seltzer,
Gosh.
the non-alcoholic one.
Oh,
So
sorry.
like any smart company, they're getting on the hard seltzer trend.
Yeah.
And I'm drinking a Topo Chico hard seltzer, and I'm so excited to be holding this in my hand right now.
It wasn't bad.
Tropical mango.
Yeah.
I think this
It was strong
works with the word that I say.
Slaps.
It slaps.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna say
It's
the
really
best,
good.
The best seltzer I've had is our friends over at River Sticks. Like, bar none, they make excellent seltzers.
Yeah.
Because they are food focused with their seltzers. But this is a second. Not a close second, but a second.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
But other than that, we've been drinking just mass beer and,
So
enjoying that.
what do we got this week?
Well, we don't have a mass brewery on, but we went down to Oklahoma virtually, thanks to our friends over at Squadcast, and we talked with our homie Wade,
Yes.
who not only is in charge of marketing, he's just a super rad dude. And we wanted to do this episode with Prairie because the way I found out about Prairie is because their can art is fucking kick-ass, right? Like,
It is. It's
you might not
very
even know
unique.
what the beer is, but you look at the can and you're like,
It
oh,
stands out.
this looks like Saturday morning cartoons, and I fucking laugh at it when I look at this. So, yeah, effective marketing does work.
Speaking of marketing, they have one can label that because there's poop on it, they can't
Can't
have
be-
it in Texas.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Fun facts.
Yeah. Texas
So,
ain't live free or
they're-
die like
they're
New
rad.
Hampshire. They can have that. So, anyways, it's awesome to learn about the marketing side. We get into some subjects that we don't typically talk about. You know,
Yeah.
we talk about the impact of influencers in the beer community. You know, they
Yeah.
do have a place.
Yeah.
You know, we don't like to say we're influencers, but we blur the line
We
sometimes.
blew the lines,
yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
And it's just awesome to hear how much social media and marketing goes into how a brand is portrayed. But fortunately for Prairie, they have kick-ass can art, and the beer backs it up, right?
Definitely.
You know, because you can have the
Absolutely.
best. You know, you can have a band that's all playing on
Yep.
Stratocasters and top of line equipment, but they could be the worst fucking band in the world.
Yep.
Right.
This band right here, this brewery right here, actually has beer that backs it up.
Yep.
And you might be familiar, with Prairie Bomb. That was one of the most traded beers back in the day.
Tremendous beer, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's like a stout, but it's got like hot pepper qualities.
Mhm.
Yep.
It's
Exactly.
So good.
Beer, really interesting combination. Terrific beer.
So Prairie's super known for their sours and super known for their stouts. But we're going to be getting some of their IPA, which I'm pretty excited to try. And they might be going into like the lager and Pilsner's game, but who
You
ain't at this
never
point? Who ain't at this
know.
point? So
Guess you're
I
just
think
gonna
a
have
lot
to
of people
listen.
will enjoy this episode
Yeah.
because it's cool. We always want to focus on the mass beer scene, right? Like,
But it's cool to branch out and
Yeah.
see what else in the United States are doing beer wise.
also it kind of just shows us like again, like how kick-ass the mass beer scene is, right? Like,
It's true. It's
like
true.
be very thankful for that. You might be like,
You live
oh,
in this area.
sometimes I get like sensory overload and I'm like, fuck, I have 7 breweries around me. Like first world problems, right? But like you go to like Texas and you go to Oklahoma and like, oh shit, the next brewery is 70 miles away from me.
Right.
Like, could you
right.
imagine like you had one brewery to go to, Massachusetts people? Be thankful. We educate for that reason.
Seriously.
No,
Seriously.
but Prairie's doing awesome things. You
They
can
are.
get Prairie at most local packies around the area.
And we went a little noodling too.
we learned about
we
Oh,
learned
we
about
went
noodling.
we went
noodling.
noodling on this episode. But yeah, so follow the doobly doo below. We're gonna get a lot of links on there. We're gonna get all of Rob's
All
links,
the
Mass Beer
links.
Brews, Eco-Friendly Beer Drinker, Prairie Ale. Just make sure you can follow them. They're gonna have a beer finder to find their beer. And yeah, I think we're gonna go into the episode.
Hell
Sounds
yeah,
good.
let's get her done.
Ryan can't wait to go home and eat some Chinese food, so we gotta wrap it up.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Until next time.
Cheers.
Cheers. Hey everybody.
Bienvenue.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Fancy.
Yeah, that's French for our
Welcome. Hello.
worldly
Hola.
listeners out there.
Oh, okay.
The only reason I used bienvenue this week is because I was looking at our analytics. Because I guess we have to do that from time to
We're
time.
pretty strong in France, I hear.
Huge following in France.
Yeah, huge following.
Yeah, it's huge. I was once a pop star
in France?
Yeah, you wouldn't.
I believe it.
It's my other alias that I don't give out any longer. But if you like put my picture on the internet, you'll find
In France.
in France you
Yeah.
will find
Yeah.
Jacques something. You'll know about it.
Yeah. Cool. I'm gonna look it up later.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
But true to our word, we actually keep our word sometimes when we say we want to do something. And Erica, what are we doing?
We are interviewing a brewery in all 50 states.
That's right. And probably by
That's
the
our
time we're
goal.
done with that, we might have 51 if
Yeah.
if all the senators. I heard 44 senators want Washington D.C. to be a state, so
Damn.
we might have to get
We
51.
might have to
So
up the ante here.
yeah, I think we should just get D.C. just to be like, fuck you,
Just
we
in
already
case.
did it.
Yeah. Head of the game.
But the brewery we're interviewing today is actually one of the only beers my girlfriend likes.
Really? I
Yeah.
can see why.
Because
Yeah.
their beers are awesome.
Yeah. But they're not like They're delicious sour beers.
Delicious sour beers. And it's in a state that you would say, really? Sour beers from this state?
What?
Well, in my opinion, I don't guess I think of this state other than I don't know much about it.
Yeah. True.
And by that awesome description that we just gave you,
The best
my
description.
girlfriend liking their beer,
Yes.
and the state not being something that you would assume.
Has great sour beer.
Erica, who's our brewery today?
We are talking to Prairie Ales.
That's right. Yeah. That's right, suckers. And we listened to our listeners because people really wanted this
Yeah,
episode.
no, this was
And
thanks to you guys.
Yeah, so,
we went ahead and we got them.
And we're here with Wade, who is in charge of marketing. Is that correct? Did I?
What is your title?
What is
I
your
guess?
title?
Let's be specific.
I've been working for Prairie for 3 or 4 years and have not come up with a title yet.
Cool.
Marketing sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, done.
Sounds
we just
good to
did it
me.
for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do some stuff.
Yeah. And we start our episode. We introduced you already, so you don't have to tell us your role because it sounds like you don't even know your role. Come on. And what's your first memory of beer?
My first memory of beer, it's funny because we were just talking about right before we started recording the Panhandle of Oklahoma, and my family is from way out towards the Panhandle of Oklahoma where there's nothing. And my first memory of a beer is going to a family reunion in Alva, Oklahoma, and my mom is very conservative, so it makes the story a lot funnier if you realize how conservative she is. But I was going into high school, and she knew I was going to go to parties and stuff, and maybe it was after my freshman year of high school. But she had all my cousins. She told them to get me as drunk as they could get me.
To like deter you?
So I could just like understand the feelings and stuff. She thought she was like really preparing me for life. And I was never something I expected my mom to.
Yeah.
So I had a really fun weekend in a hotel in Alva, Oklahoma, with a bunch of my cousins who were all, a lot older than me, but they took care of me. There was a DVD at one point back when we.
There's a
made
DVD.
DVDs.
Ooh, if you can get your hands on that, we should release that.
Pretty solid.
That's awesome.
What was the weirdest thing you said? I'm just curious. Or
Have you
did?
seen the movie Patch Adams?
Oh yeah, great movie.
There's like a really brief joke in that where he pops his head up onto a countertop to talk to a nurse. Robin Williams does, and he goes, "Hi, I'm John the Baptist," and it's just his head sitting there. And I was behind a chair and I talked as John the Baptist for like 15 minutes.
Amazing.
Just like
Solid.
Do you ever throw back to that for the LOL for the family?
Throw it in the
reunion,
DVD player.
Yeah.
they bring it up every time. I see my cousins and they say, "Hey, how's John the Baptist?"
Great. I did
great.
it when I was 15. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
So I'm guessing you as John the Baptist, was that like a major milestone in your life that you're like, fuck yeah, I need to get in the beer industry?
This is it.
Or what was life before Prairie?
No, I was a consultant in the Middle East for a medical healthcare company.
Wow, that sounds
That's
interesting.
different.
Scary.
It was outside of the work stuff. It was the coolest thing ever because I was at a busy airport and I got to travel the world, and I never regret it for a second. But the work itself was not for me, and it was 60, 70 hours
Wow.
a week. And when I moved back home, I wanted to find something that I liked, and I went back to school actually. And while I was in school, started bartending at Prairie in Oklahoma City, and the rest, as they say, is history.
Oh, cool. What did you go back to school for? Was it for marketing, or did you just
I
have a
got
knack
an
for
MBA,
it?
just a general MBA.
Okay.
So when I was doing it online, so I had free time, and I'd always liked Prairie beer dating back to college, and I had some home brewing friends, and we would. I lived in a house in college with 6 other guys, and we would do. We would make beer from time to time, and our favorite was always the Prairie Bomb, which is still our baby, still the flagship beer. So I just was on social media and saw they were hiring bartenders and thought that'd be a fun thing to do while I was finishing up school.
You're like, I might as well get paid to drink their beer.
Right.
Yeah. 2 shifties. Yeah.
Yeah. Sold. So did you kind of like have an IG handle that you were growing at the time, or how did you get into the marketing side of that for Prairie?
So we didn't have any one person dedicated to it. And I went to our owner as I was finishing up school and said, hey, I'm gonna have to go to a full-time job. You know, I was just working part-time as a bartender, but I see an opportunity here. You don't have anybody working marketing. Our owner, famously, he hates merchandise. He always, every time I ask if we can order shirts, he like kind of growls at me and rolls his eyes. Like, I hate merchandise. I was like, it's a marketing tool.
Right.
Like, it's not, I'm not trying to make you, you know, rich off of selling t-shirts, but you know, he's, our owner is his name is Zach Pritchard. He's a 4th generation brewer. He's a brewer. He's
wow.
You know,
he's a brewer.
Okay.
Yeah, his family was brewing beer in Oklahoma before Oklahoma was a state.
That's
Damn.
crazy.
direct lineage. Yeah. And so he does not. You know, I had to. It took a little convincing, but you know, I had a presentation for him. I had number. He does speak numbers, so I was just kind of showing him and. So I kind of talked myself into a job and kind of created a position. And as part of that, I took over the social media, which was kind of being done by committee before I took it over.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's always interesting. I think you guys, like, one of the most eye-catching thing about your beer for someone who's not familiar with Oklahoma beer is your cans and the bottles that you sell.
Such fun art.
You know, I was attracted to getting your beer because of how zany and crazy it was. I don't know there's one, you have Vape Tricks, right? Or yeah. So I remember that was the first beer I had from you guys, and I made Ryan hit his vape.
We did that.
we took a crappy social media picture for that, and from that day forward,
It was solid.
It was our social media's improved.
Yeah.
No,
From
but
that moment.
you know, how do you grow an established brand? You know, your brand was kind of. When were you doing this? And
Yeah, because they started in 2012, right? So when did you join them for like doing their social media?
2017.
Yeah, so they've already been established, right, at that point. So how do you come in there?
We've grown a lot in the last couple of years, mostly just in having someone that's dedicated to it, and it's a lot of interacting with people. And I kind of my philosophy towards the marketing side of things, which we just didn't really have in place before, is that everyone has their job, right? Sales' job is really to get the beer on the shelf. They're trying to get as many placements as they can. My job, I see, is to get people to try it for the first time. Me and Colin, our artist, who you're talking about doing the can art. It's kind of our job to get people to try it for the first time, and then it's the brewers and the production team's job to get them to buy it another time.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of how we operate. And it's having someone in my position that is talking to people. I do a lot of like on Twitter, I like talk to, respond to almost every person that mentions us. You know, I am very responsive on Facebook and on all these things. And it is like, it's a little more arduous than just like releasing a new beer and saying, okay, here's 100 new people that are following you. You know, it is like a slow grind of getting people, but we like, if you look at like number wise and people that are following the brand, it's when you put the effort into having someone kind of do that work, then it shows up.
Yeah, definitely.
What's your advice for smaller breweries that, you know, it's a brewer, it's a husband and wife team.
There's like five people that work there.
And you know, they're doing their best to keep the doors open, especially in a COVID world, to keep social media, you know, important. I think in this world, you know, it's important, right?
It's a must, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. I think what, at least around here, what I've noticed and what frustrates me about some of the, like our smaller brewers, is that they don't really have, you got to have someone, I don't know whether it's just like a Gen Z person or someone to take your photos. It's just the photos, like the picture that you're taking of the beer. It drives me
crazy, right?
Oh my gosh, filthy glasses of beer, like filthy glasses. That's like the number one thing. Is like, I do not want to come to your brewery. That's like, come on.
Yeah,
don't take a blurry image of a glass that all you can see is how many bubbles have formed on the side of it because your glass is filthy.
Come on, man. That's just the head. That's
give it to me straight. Give me the shot, the whole thing in a shot. Not.
Trust me, we cringe. We cringe when we see, we follow a couple, you know, user-ran Facebook groups, and it's like, man, your glass is more bubbly than the beer.
It's just little. I mean, it's just little thing. I mean, it's not. It takes some effort, and especially, you know, like if I turned our Instagram, if you looked at my mom's Instagram account, you'd kind of do the same thing. It'd be like, she loves it, and she loves taking pictures of her grandkids and taking pictures of her kids, but they're always blurry. They're off center. They're not. It's just not a good photo, and it's not her fault. Like she's just sharing her life or whatever. And that's I think a lot of people when they're running a brewery, they don't really see the importance of.
There's a difference between your personal account and like the company account, right? You want the company account to be a bit more elevated.
Wade, what would you do to make your mom's Instagram viral? No, but like seriously, I mean, when you say something like that, let's akin that to beer, right? You have someone who's taking pictures with bubbles, they're taking out of blur photos, the beer's flat. I don't know.
Yeah, like what are some tips?
What are some tips that you look at something that can elevate the marketing game? Whether you're a beer podcast or a brewery, or
whatever.
or you're trying to get famous on TikTok. I don't know.
I think it's considering how big your audience is and who your audience is. My mom takes and posts pictures. I'm really hope my mom doesn't listen to this. She's going to be her feeling so hurt. But
I love your mom's Instagram. Pictures. I've seen it. It's great.
She takes pictures and posts them, and as if it's going out to a couple. Like her
just a family or whatever. Yeah.
Or girlfriends and friends.
Like it's a group text of our family, and that's how not a lot, but there's a lot of times when I see a beer picture, it's like people are posting pictures onto their account that has, 15,000 followers that looks like it was a quick photo they took for their Untapped profile.
Yeah.
Like it's just like just to tick a box, or, like here's a new beer. Like they didn't take the extra 10 minutes to run over to a grocery store, and if they're releasing a strawberry IPA, to buy some strawberries to put in front of the, it's just like there's like those little touches I think actually matter quite a bit, and I think that it just gets people to stop and to read the caption and to figure out, I don't know, to draw them in, to convert them into someone who's actually going to buy the beer instead of just scrolling past
like it or whatever.
Yeah.
What's kind of been some of the struggles? You guys are known for your sour beers, but in an IPA world, how do you get your beer out there and known? And
well, I think it's a little bit what you mentioned earlier with the artwork. And first, I would say that we are known for our sours, but we're definitely built as a stout brewery. That's kind of where the Prairie Bomb is where it built all of our facilities. Prairie Bomb, we opened as a brewery in 2012 and released Bomb in 2013. And when we released Bomb in 2013, it hit all those top beer lists and stuff, and immediately we became a production brewery. We switched from being
overnight.
We're on every continent except for Africa and Antarctica. We are in 40 something states. And most of that is because it was an early on thing because everybody wanted to get their hands on Bomb.
Yeah.
So that said, I think to get, like you're saying, an IPA, it is an IPA driven sort of environment, but I think that our artwork gets people to stop and look.
Yeah. Sure.
That's a credit. That's a credit to the artist who's Colin Healy, who's one of the original founders. So he's been on board since day one. And I think every label, I think maybe we had one at one point when he was just swamped when we, had someone else kind of try to come in and mirror his style and release a beer.
Yeah.
But, and no one noticed. So don't tell anyone, but it's
right.
It's definitely he's responsible for a lot of the success of the brand just because it is what, kind of stops people in their tracks.
Yeah, it's eye-catching for sure.
All right. So before we get into why you guys are using bottles in 12-ounce cans when in a world of 16-ounce cans, we have a word from our sponsors.
Did you know that your favorite Massachusetts breweries use hops from a local family-owned hop farm right here in Massachusetts?
Our friends over at 4 Star Farms are there for you whether you're a commercial brewery or a small batch home brewer.
Make sure to head over to their website today and get your hands on some of the best and freshest hops available locally. Cheers.
At At our local homebrew shop, Beer and Wine Hobby, you can get everything you need to make beer, wine, cider, cheese, and more. Not sure where to start? They have knowledgeable staff there to help. Beer and Wine Hobby is family-owned and located in Danvers, Massachusetts. Visit their website, beer-wine.com, and use our promo code BREWROOTS for 10% off your online order today.
Shirks on Tap is the box subscription service where you can get some of the dopest brewery t-shirts out there. I'm talking breweries from Dallas, San Diego, and even our home area of New England. And you might ask, how do I get my hands on some? To get your first box for $5, click the link below in our description, or head on over to our website, breweroots.com. Remember, drink better beer, wear better shirts.
All right, so we are back. Thank you, amazing sponsors. As soon as I asked that question, Wade's eyes opened up, and I think
You could see it.
you see it. He's got a good answer. I know he's got a good answer for us, but why the 12-ounce format versus a 16-ounce format,
And the bottles versus cans.
Yeah.
So it's something we've talked about a lot, and I don't have a perfect answer. The main reason is the price of it. Our sours especially have so much fruit in them, and it's not like we do a lot of that manually. Well, it's not like we're just straight up ordering puree from someone. We do a lot. So the labor cost is high, and I think the idea is, and the material cost is high. The idea is that we're trying to make it affordable to go buy a 4-pack. Before we started this interview, he was talking about the price of the 12-ounce bottle being so high, and it is, but think of how much more it would be if it was a 20-ounce or 16-ounce can, or it's like we do a lot of stuff manually that I think probably, and we probably over adjunct some stuff that other breweries maybe could get away. We could get away with putting less adjuncts in our beers, but we don't. We have a certain commitment to putting all that goodness into the beer, and I think that it's a risk.
Now, you were talking before, you thought maybe you think there's maybe a flavor difference between the can versus the bottle for the stouts? Because I think it's just your stouts in the bottles, right? Or do you have sours in bottles as well?
No.
Okay.
No, we just have stouts in the bottles. That's how we do. We have our year-round beers and our kind of monthly releases and quarterly releases that are sours. Those are all in the 12-ounce cans, and then we're stouts only in the 12-ounce bottles. And we did a stout in a 12-ounce can, and it just tasted different. And I don't know. I'm the marketing guy. I don't know from a technical side why that happened. But we did a bunch of taste tests. We did a bunch of testing on it. It's not like it was infected. There wasn't anything wrong with it. It just felt, I don't know, it just tasted a little bit different coming out of the aluminum can into a glass versus out of a bottle. And I know that there's going to be other people that listen to this and probably real brewers that aren't Wade, and they're going to say that I'm an idiot, and that's fine. But we did it once, and it also just didn't move very well off the shelf. So I don't know if that was part of it too. If there's a perception, just a mental block of, seeing our bottles. I don't know. Sold stouts better.
Yeah. Cool. At any time, how many beers do you guys have out on market? Different styles, different beers, I guess. I always see a different one. I feel like every time I go to a different liquor store.
Yeah, that's something that frustrates our distributors. we have our year-round beers, which is Bomb, which is the OG Imperial Stout. It's vanilla, chocolate, coffee, and ancho chili peppers. That's the main one. And then we have Rainbow Sherbet, which is a sour, Vape Tricks, which is a sour, Slush, which is a sour, and then we do a quarterly sour, which goes into our mix pack. Then we do monthly releases. So if you're a distributor right now, you could buy 7 different offerings from us.
Yeah, wow. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
It is a lot, and it'll change next month, so it'll be a different. So right, this month's release is Spectrum, which is it's a sour with cinnamon, hibiscus, and ancho chili peppers. Ooh. And it's available for just this month because it'll be on the shelf for Autism Awareness Month. It's our autism award. It's called Spectrum. It's our autism fundraising beer that we do with a school here in Oklahoma City.
That's awesome.
But it'll only be here for a month, and the next month we'll be on to something else. And again, that's something that does frustrate distributors, and especially the ones that are further away, like you guys up in New England. Maybe not place an order from us every month, so you might not get every beer that we release.
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely a treat when we get your beer up here.
Yeah.
Well, and because it's not in every, if it's Oklahoma or Texas, then every month you can go into an on queue or gas station and find whatever the newest thing is from us.
Gas station. What?
Gas station, yeah.
Yeah.
Further you get away, the more like infrequent that the shipments come, and so it's kind of whatever's available that month.
Yeah.
Makes its way that way.
Yeah, for us, it's the better beer stores. In Massachusetts, we can't sell beer in gas station, only select gas stations.
Yeah.
There's some weird rules
There's
and
some
all that
weird
stuff.
rules.
But only like the better liquor stores, and Whole Foods for some reason. I feel like I see you guys in Whole Foods. So.
Yeah, from the list that Wade sent me earlier today before this interview, the only store that had their stuff was in Plum Island, and that was like the only place within like 20-something miles. I got it from the Cottage Island Market, and that is in Plum Island. Also,
And they had a decent variety, right? They had 4 different stouts and 2 of their sours.
They actually had more.
Oh, wow.
But
Jeez.
again, I didn't want to go ahead and spend a whole
More than what you already did.
Exactly. But it was worth it because, again, I mean, this beer is phenomenal.
It really is, though.
Shout out to this girl that I had a major crush in high school. Her husband owns that place, so.
Oh.
Shout out to Jen for choosing the right guy to own a dope beer place. I'm being vulnerable today. So right now we're drinking Bomb, and truth be told, this is probably the first time I'm drinking Bomb since like.
Is it Bomb?
2015, and I had to heavily trade Heady Topper to get it back in the day, and someone was like, "I want a whole case of Heady Topper for." I was like, "What the fuck?" But how has the recipe changed since you were drinking Bomb back in the day to now? Is it still the same Bomb?
It's the same. The only thing that's changing is that our owner bought a coffee company. If you look at like the old label of Bomb, you can see on there that it's the coffee company is called Nordagios, which is a Tulsa coffee roastery, and now it's called Spaceship Earth Coffee Company, which is a local McAllister one. So it's the same. We worked really hard, spent a lot of time making sure that the blend was the same coffee, and it really is. I've done side-by-side taste tests, and people will say that they can taste the difference, and they'll be really kind of snooty about the Nordagios.
They must be sommeliers or something.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, they can tell because there's wax on the lid, and we haven't waxed caps on Bomb for a long time. So but that's the only thing that's changed. Everything has like all the ratios. Everything is the same. It's the roasted ancho chilies, and the vanilla has been sourced from the same place, and the chocolate and is the same, and then just
it's a nice
the coffee
balance.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, it's not like super hot or super anything. It's just really well blended, and it's nice.
Yeah. 2011 to 2015 seemed like the year that I filled my basement with beer and haven't drank it in 2021. Do you recommend bottle aging or bottle conditioning any of your beers? If I was to put this Bomb in the cellar for a year, 2 years, 3 years, is that something that you guys are into, or drink it fresh?
I like drinking it fresh. Mostly just because I can't hold onto it that long. What is really fun to do is we do have a lot of beers that we do every year, and that they do change a little bit. Christmas Bomb is the example. So it's the same Bomb base and the same Bomb adjuncts, and then we add some sort of holiday spices to it, and that holiday spice mix changes a little bit every year. Sometimes it's just cinnamon, sometimes there's nutmeg and allspice and stuff. And so that one is pretty fun to do verticals with. Yeah. So it's not really. I'm not really advocating that you would barrel age it just like to make the flavor better, but cellar it. But I would. I would do it for just to be able to taste them side by side year to year and kind of get to do that. But it should age well. There's nothing about it that
Cool.
Don't age the sours, just drink them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm curious. When we talk to different breweries, we got a feel for what the Texas scene's like. Talking to a couple of breweries down there. What is the Oklahoma beer scene like? How many breweries in Oklahoma? Do you have a Oklahoma Brewers Guild? What's kind of the deal?
It has exploded recently. We do have a brewers association, brewer alliance in Oklahoma. We are, the way we're set up, like I mentioned, our owner has been brewing beer since before Oklahoma was a state. That brand was called Chalk. Is called Chalk. We still brew some Chalk beer. But recently it's kind of like, we legalized medical marijuana too, and now there's like a medical marijuana like location on every corner, and that's kind of how the breweries have been too. Like over the last 5 or 6 years, it used to be kind of us and maybe a Marshall is a big one in Tulsa. There's a couple other, Coop and Anthem are the Oklahoma breweries, and now there's probably 15 or 20 just in Oklahoma City.
Wow. Jeez, nice.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
With Prairie kind of, in my opinion, probably being the most well-known from Oklahoma, what are you guys doing right? What are you guys, to have your brand be in almost every country and be in 48 states? Why? With it's hard to have, it seems like I could name 70 different beers from you guys. But with that amount of variety, we see breweries and, 5 of their flagships really off the top
That's
of
all
your
you
head.
see. Yeah.
But, for someone in Massachusetts, I don't think I've ever seen a return other than being, Slush or Bomb. I see different varieties of your beer all the time. How do you gain that success in a relatively short period of time?
I don't know. That's a good question. I think our brewers like brewing different things. And we have, the way that we're set up is we have our production facility in McAlester, Oklahoma, McAlester, Oklahoma is less than 20,000 people. It's a smaller community. But we have a tap room that's really successful in Oklahoma City. We've had a brew pub in Tulsa, which unfortunately is closed over COVID. Just a lack of sales in downtown Tulsa. But those 2 locations over the last several years have been really, really cool pilot programs. So it's really good R&D facilities. So we can throw those. There's no rules at those locations as far as what we're brewing.
That's awesome.
And it's allowed us to like really get weird and try stuff and have the data to be able to look at a beer that we've done in a small batch and say, hey, this killed it, and we could scale this up pretty quickly and distribute it widely. So we have a good process. We have a good system.
Cool.
We have a good, and so I think that's probably, and the fact that early on Bomb was so successful back in 2013 that we blew up quickly. Everybody wanted, all these distributors were reaching out to us and saying, we want to distribute your beer, and we were able to get those relationships.
Yeah.
So it's not like we have to go into Oregon now and pitch like, hey, please sell our beer for us. It's like
we already have an established name.
We have some relationships there and have people to call.
Wow, you guys took the complete polar opposite approach of Treehouse. It's always interesting when I see that, it's very similar to something like Treehouse, right, in Massachusetts. They probably the most traded beer, and it seems like you guys caught lightning in the bottle kind of at the same time as them. What made you want to go in the direction of doing that wide mass distribution rather than just kind of keeping it exclusive to, Oklahoma and making sure your product is, in Oklahoma?
That's a good question. The original owner, that probably goes back to the beginning of Prairie.
The beginning of time.
Prairie was started by Colin and Chase Healy, and once Bomb came out and they needed the bigger production capacity, they got Chalk Brewing involved, which is our current owner. And there was a lot of contract brewing just because of the scale of it and the amount that we needed to produce. And so Chase Healy, who was the original founder of Prairie, sold off and has started another brewery since. and we have a great relationship with them, and it's super fun. But a lot of our, kind of why we started doing what we're doing is because we could. We had a large McAllister. We've got the labor and we've got the facility to mass produce, and we had the beer to sell.
Yeah, good for you. That's awesome. So I am curious. You have this brand. You guys have 91,000 followers on
something ridiculous.
On
Yeah, yeah.
And you have a lot of beer to kind of market.
Yeah.
What's the hardest part of your job?
The hardest part of my job is stopping doing it at nighttime.
Yeah, that's
right.
When I'm sitting with my wife wanting to watch a movie, it's hard. Someone just tweeted at me talking shit on there. I was like, I want to jump back in.
Right.
It's hard. It is. Social media is a part of all of our lives so much that when it's also part when
it's also your job, it's like
yeah.
Is the Prairie account on your personal phone?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's terrible because it's fun but it's also just I could not get off my couch. I can sit on my couch for 4 hours. I can wake up, make breakfast, sit on my couch for 4 hours, and I will have been working hard.
Yeah. I'm kind of the same way. My boyfriend will come home and be like, "What did you do all day?" Well, I sat down and did Brew Roots social media for a couple of hours, and he'll just be like, "The fuck are you doing? What?"
Yeah.
It's like, you don't understand. I was super
Why does
productive.
it take so much time? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. What do you kind of love most about the marketing?
Well, I like our beer, and so it makes it really easy.
Cool.
But I like, I like getting to meet and interact with kind of the same people. You kind of develop these online relationships with these people that are commenting all the time, and you can kind of, whatever it is, talking shit with them or making fun of them, or they're making fun of you. And I love those kind of little mini relationships that form electronically. It's kind of a silly answer to that, but
No, I love it. I totally agree. We have a couple followers that we go back and forth with on our end as well.
I like to make fun of all of them. No, I'm just kidding.
Very recently, we had a couple that just got engaged, and when I first started the account, I was tasked with growing the followers, and I was like, okay, well, let's do some giveaways. I was like, I don't know, let's do some of that stuff that you immediately think of, okay, follow this page, and we'll do a drawing for a prize pack. And this girl that won the prize pack was from Oregon, and her boyfriend was from Idaho. And since I've interacted with them on social media, they both moved together to somewhere else, to Montana or something. And then they came and visited. They were in Oklahoma City last week. So I went over there and took them a couple beers, and
that's
cool.
That's
awesome.
It turns out, to be pretty fun.
Yeah. So I love hearing that, Wade, you were able to I think that you were the reason that couple fell in love and got married. So I want to, I think that you were the tying. You and Prairie Beer are the reason that you guys tied together.
Sure.
But we're not going to get more into that story. We're going to find out what you think of influencers. On the other of this, and his face dropped again. I'm just killing it with the questions.
Can't wait to come back after these
cliffhangers.
Yeah. Take it away.
Are you a solo artist, band, podcaster, or anyone else who needs recording services?
Well, we got a place for you where your vision can become a reality.
Welcome to Small Pond Studios, built by hand with heart and sweat equity by musicians for musicians.
Go to smallpondstudios.io to reach out to get more information. And make sure you let them know that Brute sent you. Hey, Sound Guy Ryan here. Didn't know if you heard, but we're a part of the Hopped Up Network. There you'll find other informative podcasts about beer. So go ahead, follow them on social media, and visit them on their website, hoppedupnetwork.com, to learn more about the people, beer, and breweries from around the country. And until next time, thanks for listening. Cheers.
All right, so we're back. We see a ton of beer influencers, and people ask us all the time if we're beer influencers, and we say no.
It seems to be kind of a marketing thing.
How important is influencers to your brand?
Yeah.
And
do you use them? Your thoughts on them?
I know a lot of really cool ones.
I think what it bothers me is when people send me messages asking for free beer for their wedding. I'll take you. You know, I don't. We're not going to pay for the beer that you send us. We need 3 kegs. It's going to be for our weddings. I can promise you, I'll post pictures on my Instagram afterwards. I have 40,000 followers. So, okay, like the people following your account aren't following your account because you are a beer drinker necessarily.
Right.
Right.
When it comes to like a beer influencer, I don't know. I know a couple of really cool ones. We
We do
had
too.
some.
I don't want us to sound like we're talking trash. We know really cool ones too. Yeah.
Yeah. Like we had some come to our festival a couple years ago, and like we didn't like pay for them to come or anything, but they came and it was awesome to see them, and you know, got to take a picture with them or whatever. And so I don't know. It's just the ones that are the people that sort of like I feel like crawl across the internet looking for free stuff.
Yeah. Do you ever reach out to them to like use them in any kind of campaign or?
I have never done that.
Okay. Just curious. Yeah.
Yeah.
Neither of
No,
we.
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. It's important. I'm curious. How important is Twitter as a tool in your arsenal?
Do you use Twitter?
Do you use Twitter? Yeah.
Yeah, I use Twitter. I love Twitter because to me, Twitter is a lot more of the. I can get away with a lot more. It doesn't have to be as professional sounding. I feel like
okay.
You know, Facebook and Instagram. I have. You know, I mostly try to keep. You know, the posts are about the beer or about events that are coming up, or you know, and it's a lot more structured. I try to get at least one post out a day, and it's I get the post schedules ahead of time. Twitter's a lot more of like a
in the moment kind of
on the
thing.
fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like can tweet about what's the thing. I'm sure that by the time this is posted, that people won't even be thinking about it. But there's like that cinnamon toast crunch guy that
with
has
the
like
shrimp. That's Topanga Lawrence's husband. Do you know that?
Yeah.
I was like,
What?
Yeah. You don't know about this? Just look it up.
Okay.
Topanga's husband found some shrimp in his like shrimp tails in his cinnamon toast crunch.
Oh, gross.
I would have straight up eaten
disgusting.
them. Whatever.
But it's like, yeah, it's gone super viral. And so, like from a Twitter account, it's fun to
yeah.
you know jump in there, and it's not as structured or formalized. And so I love Twitter. I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Do you think Twitter is underutilized by the brewing industry?
I would say so. There's like a very strong beer Twitter community. There's a lot of like individual brewers on there, but I don't see as much from actual breweries.
Yeah.
Especially in Chicago. I don't know if that's weird. There's a huge group of people in Chicago that are always tweeting about beer, and it's like
interesting.
I'm now friends with like 10 people in Chicago. If I ever go to Chicago, like I'll have people I can contact and go hang out with. Like,
Awesome.
I think a lot of times when we tweet or when we post something, we have a lot of people in mind. You know, in 2020, 2021, you want to be sensitive to everyone. You know, I never want to post something that is offensive to anyone. Is it harder to post something with that vein, you know, or is it just...
Yeah, how do you kind of keep that in the back of your mind, you know? Yeah.
I think, well, so there is definitely like a part of that that's understanding just sort of the mechanics of the algorithms and who sees what you're posting about. And so, like I mentioned on Facebook or Instagram, everything that I'm posting, I really want to have broad appeal because I know that the demographic of the people that see that is super, super wide. Whereas if you're responding to somebody, the people who are going to see that response are that person and the people that follow them. And so I think, I mean, the main part of not offending anybody is not being
offensive in the first place.
Not being an asshole. Yeah.
Right.
But you can, like, I think there's like a really fun and acceptable level of snarkiness that people actually like appreciate and don't. It's not like if you call somebody an idiot, like in jest, like it actually is gonna. They're probably, you know, they're more excited that they're interacting with the brand and that they.
Oh my God, they called me an idiot.
Yeah. I'm honored.
So cool.
That sounds stupid, but I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
I don't true. Like it's fun.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, Matt, what are we drinking right now again?
I don't know. You have the
Oh,
ball.
I think I have a
Yeah.
bottle. Yeah. So we've moved on to bourbon barrel aged weekend. And you said there was a funny story with this one. It has great can art like everything else. I don't know if the story has anything to do with the can art, but
It does, and I probably oversold it. It's not that funny of a story, but
Oh.
our biggest market is Oklahoma, and our second biggest market, and it's like really close, 1 and 2, is Texas, and we can't sell that beer in Texas.
Oh,
Why?
why?
If you look at the label, I mean, obviously we plan to send it to Texas, but if you look at the
Yes.
label, there's like a parade of people,
Yeah.
and one of the people up front is walking a dog,
Yep.
Yes.
and towards the back of the line, you can see that the dog has pooped.
Yes.
Texas did not approve the label because there's dog poop on the label.
Oh my God! Did they think it was like did they think it was offensive or something?
I guess so. Like
That
we-
makes no
we-
sense.
we sat on sales calls and we're just like laughing and scratching our heads. Like, do we go back and make a Texas specific label that doesn't have the poop on it?
Right.
Like, well, that's going to cost this, and it was like it was so ridiculous.
That
But
is so ridiculous.
you do have to deal with every state's like different weird laws. We have a lot of our beers can't be sold, and I think I want to say Vermont.
Oh, Vermont.
Your home state,
Because-
I
Erica.
know.
Because they are kind of cartoony, and someone interprets that as being sort of marketing it towards underage people.
Children.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
there are things you got to tiptoe around, and our
So
art is so
weird.
wacky that sometimes that we run into stuff. That's really good beer though.
Yeah.
That's so silly, especially like with Texas. I feel like they're so like, I don't know, like
Freedom.
freedom, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I think. They're just doing their own thing, but God forbid, but poop on a beer label.
It's offensive. It's offensive to me. I'm curious. We talked a lot about social media, but I'm sure that's not the only marketing that you do. I mean, what about like radio ads, television, anything like that? Or festivals. What other marketing are you doing to promote the brand? Social media is such a huge part of it. And sometimes it feels like social media is low hanging fruit, right? You can attack the most amount of people in the shortest period of time. But what are other aspects of the job that people don't even think about?
Well, I think I think like the brewery relation stuff. It's interacting. Like we have a beer right now. I was looking earlier, Untapped. It's like if you look at the top rated Untapped beers, I think number 12 is Barrel Aged Adjunct Trail with and it's labeled on Untapped as being Angry Chair, and it's their beer, but it's our collab beer. And I think that's like a cool way to kind of expand your audience, because someone goes and tries Barrel Age Adjunct Trail, and they're like, oh, this is a collaboration with Prairie and Angry Chair. Let's go try out a Prairie beer.
Yeah.
We did one with Cigar City, also in Florida.
I love Cigar
called
City.
Nice.
Let's Get This Done, which is another one that we did. That's like
Cool.
a scout. So that's a part of it. I think our festival was really cool. We only got to do it 1 year. We had it on the schedule for last spring, right when COVID hit. And so we're kind of back into planning mode and trying to get festival number 2 going right now. But that's another really cool one. We have not done a lot of the ad stuff. We haven't done radio ads, or we haven't done a billboard or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it really is just because I think it's sort of a testament to the social media side of things, because you can reach so many people. It's kind of like if you're kind of happy with where your sales are, or if you're growing at a really steady rate, then it's hard to sometimes justify going and dropping several $1,000s on like physical ads.
Yeah. So let's talk about COVID. So I feel like a lot of breweries have kind of just dropped the marketing off during COVID. I think it's probably just the easiest job that they could just furlough, for the time being. What's that done for your company in COVID in your position?
I think you could take it one of two different ways. You can kind of say like that's an expendable position, and let's internalize that and maybe not have someone separate to that work. Or you can say now is the most important time ever to have someone manning the station, kind of like manning those accounts and active on it. And so many places have gone to being able to order things online.
Right.
That every time someone can sell something online, that means there's a link to share. Like there's a lot to do on the internet to push that stuff. Oklahoma had allowed for a while, like as an emergency, during COVID, we were able to deliver beer. We can't deliver beer in Oklahoma
Cool.
normally, but that was an emergency sort of like law that they made that we could do that. So we kind of pivoted to that. Like now we're shipping beer. Now we're trying to get people. I was driving around in a RAV4 full of cases of beer for a while.
Yes.
Dropping them off at people's front doors, So for me personally, in our job, like in my job, I did not want to lose my job, and so I made sure I was invaluable and was kind of helping out everywhere that I could. But I think in general, I think during COVID, I think that the social media managers became really important because that's the best way that people are going to find out that how they can buy beer when they can't go to a restaurant.
Yeah, totally agree.
In COVID, we've seen a ton of people posting on TikTok. I started posting on TikTok.
That's
We
the new
started
thing
posting
now,
on TikTok.
yeah.
Is that the next big social media thing, or do you think that's a trend?
Are you guys on TikTok?
Are you on TikTok?
I think it's the next big social media thing. I recently, like maybe a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, got the handle like Prairie Ale.
What?
Should have bought that one. I'm just kidding.
So like I have it. I have not posted anything yet, and I don't know that I want to take on another one, but
it already takes up so much of your life. Why not a little bit more?
right.
Yep.
Or you can say it already takes up so much of my life. I can't take a little.
Right,
Yeah, I can't take a
Yeah,
little
no, it's
more.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But no, I think TikTok is definitely it's the next thing, and I really liked Vine.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
Mhm.
I get it.
Vine was really fun, and so I get it. I get why TikTok is attractive.
Yeah. If there was a retired beer that Prairie had that you could bring back, what would that beer be?
There's a beer called Prairie Somewhere, and it was a sour farmhouse ale.
Ooh,
You didn't even have to think about it. You knew. You were like, "Fuck yeah, this one."
Yeah,
He's
it's
been
really
thinking
cool.
about it.
I also knew it off the top of my head because I get asked on social media a lot, like, when are you guys going to do Somewhere again? Like, it was very popular among us internally, and very popular.
If you know,
So
people.
what's
Yeah.
the holdup? I mean,
Yeah, it was a holdup.
Well, we've only ever done it before in 16.9 bottles. So like,
wow.
weird. It was a weird format,
Yeah.
and we need to get into a can and try it out. We're selling so many sours right now that I think that the holdup is trying to like throw something that's a different
Yeah. No, for
style into a really working mix, especially while COVID's going on, and it's not like the best time to just like start experimenting with what's working.
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
So I do know you guys only for sours and stouts. Do you guys brew an IPA? Do you brew a Pilsner, brew a lager?
We don't have a Pilsner or a lager. We've done a lot of those, like I mentioned, in Oklahoma City and in Tulsa, sort of like as tests.
Pilots.
Yeah, and they've been really good. We haven't actually scaled one up yet and distributed it. We do have one of our year rounds is a farmhouse ale. It's a hoppy farmhouse ale called Prairie Standard.
Nice.
And that's actually where our logo comes from. So if you've seen the catfish smoking a cigarette,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
our primary logo. There's like a comic strip on that beer that is how to noodle, which is a very Oklahoma thing.
What's the noodle? How do you noodle?
No, okay, good. This is good. This is
Yeah.
good information. So noodling, and this is going to sound insane, and I'm just going to let you know that before I start. But noodling is a type of fishing.
There's a
and
type
it's
of what?
for fishing
Okay.
Okay.
for catfish.
Oh, I've seen this on TV.
Yes.
You put your arm
Yeah.
out, right, and they're supposed to like get your arm.
So a lot of Oklahoma lakes have like muddy bottoms, and catfish will like burrow like little holes, like caves into the mud, and sit in there over the winter or whatever. So like, or like just like a nest basically for catfish. And so you'll stick your arm in and dangle it as bait, and then the catfish are like 60-pound catfish. It's not like a
Right.
it's not like a little one. It bites your arm, and then you just grab onto something in its mouth and pull the catfish. If you Google it, it is like the wildest.
That's crazy.
People
But
lose
they don't have
fingers all
teeth
the
or
time.
anything, right? So it doesn't like hurt or whatever.
I've never
Have you
done it.
done it?
I don't,
Oh,
They
hasn't
they
been
do
done.
not.
I don't think it's comfortable.
Yeah.
Right, probably not.
It's not preferred, but you got to do what you got to do.
You got a noodle, man.
Yeah, there's like noodling festivals and stuff. So there's if you buy a Prairie Standard, then there's a comic on there that has.
Good. I'm gonna check it out.
We're gonna have to noodle this summer.
I can't wait to noodle.
Yeah, we're gonna be noodling all summer long.
I think it's great. It's called noodling. Like
Yeah.
they didn't have like a different. I don't know. Just Noodling.
Yeah.
That's great.
Pretty good. We also distribute a double IPA called Phantasmagoria.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to at this point, right?
Yeah, they're solid beers. It's a West Coast.
Ooh,
I really like it.
nice.
Yeah.
It's a really good beer. It's just that we had so much attention goes to the sours, and
Yeah.
especially because they cycle in and out so much that they're not as well known. But they're really solid beers. I mean, if anyone wants to try them, I recommend it. They're good beers.
Cool. So we want our listeners, if they in a post-COVID world make it down to Oklahoma, go to
Or just find your local, liquor store
to purchase this
some.
beer.
Yeah.
What's the best way to find out where your beer is located, and if they happen to make their way into Oklahoma, how can they come and enjoy your beer?
We are working on a Find My Beer system app, or whatever,
Yes,
like a lot of the
please.
breweries have. For now, the best way to do it is on our website, which is prairieales.com. There's a distributors page where you can look up the distributor for your state. And you can call them or reach out to them through email and see where to buy them. That's what I did. That's all I did today to find out where you guys could buy some. Was I found our Massachusetts distributor, which is Longbow, and reached out to them and
Cool.
figured out a couple of the locations that had purchased from them recently, and that's the best way right now. If you come to Oklahoma, we have a tap room in Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City, there's a lot of other breweries. It's a pretty good beer pilgrimage at this point. There's some really cool stuff happening in our beer scene here. We are actually located out in McAllister, and we're in the process of taking a little bit of our space. We have this giant warehouse space. We're in the process of converting some of that into a tap room, which will be
Ooh.
make it a little bit more of a destination. We have a lot of land out there. We got a whole disc golf course.
That's awesome.
It's a cool little area. So hopefully soon that'll be a place that people can come check out. But in the meantime, if anyone's coming soon, Oklahoma City to our tap room, you can get basically any of the beers that we make that are in distribution, and then a whole bunch of the ones that we're experimenting on too.
Cool. Well, wait, if we are ever in the area, you're ever in our area, I'd love to party, hang out, and drink some beer with you and show you around Massachusetts and New Hampshire and Maine and Vermont. And
Next time we're in Oklahoma, we'll go noodling.
we'll go noodle. Yeah, but next time we're in Oklahoma, we have to go noodling with you.
Fair.
Yeah.
And we'll put it we'll put it on TikTok too. I
I'm
promise.
excited. I've listened to a bunch of the episodes that you guys have done, and I've it's gotten me more excited about kind of your local spots that I can't get here. I've gotten to try some of the treehouse and some of the stuff that gets traded out this way, and the Trillium and things like that. But
those are great. I won't talk shit about those. They're great, but I can send you.
There's
some
so
stuff
much more.
There's so much stuff out here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool. Ryan, do you got a question? No question. Erica, you got a question?
I have my question. I mean, you haven't asked this one recently, and I always like this one. What are you drinking at home, by the way?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
What is in your fridge?
I don't know that I should tell you.
Okay.
Why not, man? Come on.
I mean, as a craft brewer, I don't want you to judge me for my cooler
way.
I got Miller High Life in my fridge.
High Life Banquet.
Ooh, Banquet.
I always keep a lot of our beer cold.
Yeah.
If anyone comes over, they know that I work for Prairie and they want to be hooked up.
For sure.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of really cool Oklahoma breweries too. So earlier I was drinking some stuff from American Solera. They're a good Oklahoma brewery, and Stone Cloud, and there's a couple really cool ones around here. So
Cool.
Cool.
I'm a big fan of drinking what you like. My favorite beer, I will not tell anyone that my favorite beer is not Pabst Blue Ribbon. I've been drinking Pabst since I was freshman in college, and that's my beer. And
It won a blue ribbon. It won a blue ribbon, man.
I mean,
Ain't nothing
come
wrong
on,
with
man.
that.
Come on.
they were selling the recipe or something a while ago, and I pitched it to my owner. I was like, hey, we should just buy Pabst.
Yeah.
Then I won't have to pay for beer the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Right?
Hell
Right?
yeah. That's such
No
a good idea.
Yeah. I'm up for anything.
Erica, can I ask the favorite question? Because I haven't
Yes.
asked it in years.
And literally probably years.
It's been years.
Yes,
I listened
please.
back.
Go ahead.
All right. So Erica's favorite question, and the question that I came up with for every episode, is what are you most proud of?
I am. You mean like personally or professionally or
Whatever you're feeling.
Whatever the fuck you want to say.
Well, 'cause, yeah. I am proud of. I mean, like the normal stuff that people would say. Like I'm not like gonna start talking about the brewery and like skip over. Like I'm proud of my family and I've got 2 beautiful kids. And, like, I do have those things. I'm very proud of them. I have a wonderful life. I love my life. From a brewery's perspective, and professionally, I am proud of. I'm proud that you guys reached out to me. I'm proud that we have. I mean, that we have people that know about us in Massachusetts. You know, like.
There are certainly people who, like, I've brought your beer to multiple gatherings pre-COVID, and people are just like, "Fuck, what is this?" People always it's a
really big sense of pride that we have that big of a footprint.
Yeah,
people always think that like I've gotten your beer specially like sent to me, and I'm like, this is really not that case in this time. It's like I spent really good money to get this beer to share with people, so it's like, yeah, I if I can spread the good word of Prairie, I think you guys are killing it. You know, we have a lot of great sour and stout breweries in Massachusetts, and I love them. Don't get me wrong, and they're doing everything awesome. It's just I love the beer that you guys are putting out. I think it's awesome, and
the fact that you ship it out to us, and it comes here and it's still good. The cans aren't exploding.
Yeah. Do you pasteurize? Is all the sours pasteurized?
No.
Holy shit! Good for you for not getting double fermentation in that stuff.
Pretty great.
Yeah. That's fucking.
So, yeah, we haven't had any issues like that. Like fingers crossed, knock on wood. Like I don't.
Yeah.
We just. Yeah, it has not had not been an issue for us yet. We have had issues. You know, we have a membership program, and we do like we released. There was a day last year we released 340 unique stouts in the same day. To our membership, we let our membership. We had a membership, and they all got to choose their own adjuncts for their barrels. And you know, it's not. I'm not saying we were perfect. You know, things did not go perfectly with all those beers, but like, you know, obviously we made it right for everybody. That
Rad.
It was an issue, but yeah, the sours and stuff. There's no pasteurization.
That's
cool. Awesome. Well, Wade, you've been the man today. We appreciate you taking some time out of your day.
Seriously, thank you so much for doing
hanging out with us. And seriously, if you're ever in the area, let's party, let's hang out, and you know, we'll catch you down in Oklahoma sometime soon.
Absolutely, can't wait.
Stay safe, wear a mask. We'll see you soon.
Cheers.
All righty, cheers.
All right, for the 10% of our listeners who are listening to this outro, this is for you. Ryan, do you have a special announcement for us this week?
Absolutely not.
No, you
Except
he's doing yoga.
I am doing yoga. If you listen to the intro, apparently I'm going to be doing some yoga at 7th Wave.
That's right. We have an extra smalls t-shirt, and I got some booty shorts for you lined up, Ryan.
Oh, that's going to be hot.
Yeah, so we have an awesome episode lined up for you next week. Erica, who do we have?
Next week we have faces.
That's right.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with this interview because I look really good on camera.
You look great on camera.
Yeah, they recorded us for this episode, and I just want our listeners to know we more than likely, unless we have a very like rich relative or expensive investor who wants to invest in Brew Roots to get this camera equipment, we did not record it. Our friends over at Faces recorded it.
This will be the one time we have this nice of a quality.
Yeah, but like my makeup looked great that day.
Yeah, we touched it up for you. It's real nice.
Yeah, crystal clear skin. It was beautiful. But yeah, we're very excited for that. But if you want to support the podcast and help us out, maybe get that camera equipment one day. Ryan, what's one way that our listeners can do that?
We can go to patreon.com/Brew Roots podcast.
That's right, because I forgot the password for Brew Roots at patreon.com. So just go to patreon.com/Brew Roots podcast.
Yeah.
And subscribe. You can buy us a beer. That helps us out. Or for $25, you can get some cool brewery swag that we've picked up along the roads and
exactly
get them in your possession. And guarantee that Ryan has probably touched it along the way. And that's incentive enough for me to buy something.
Yes.
So, yeah, until next week, enjoy your weekend. Drink mass beer and drink your local brewery if you're outside the Massachusetts area.
Okay, cool.
I've clearly drank a couple.
Yeah.
So until next week.
Until next time.
Cheers.